This video captures two unforgettable courtroom moments that show just how quickly things can get intense behind the judge's bench. First, we meet Brandon Lane, a man facing indecent exposure charges. From the start, the courtroom feels tense, his lawyer looks uneasy, and Lane's behavior is unpredictable. When the judge denies his bond because of his history of skipping court, Lane completely loses control, violently slamming his head on the table. The court immediately recommends a mental health evaluation, especially considering he's homeless and clearly struggling. This incident is a shocking reminder of how quickly emotions can escalate and why courts sometimes have to address mental health alongside justice. Then, in a separate courtroom, Judge Boyd takes charge. Attorneys are talking over her and approaching the clerk during proceedings, breaking the rules. She firmly reminds everyone that courtroom decorum is not optional and emphasizes that maintaining order is critical. The narrator highlights that lawyers must follow American Bar Association rules, showing how authority and professionalism keep the justice system running smoothly. Together, these incidents reveal two sides of the courtroom experience: the chaos that can erupt when control is lost, and the discipline that ensures fairness and order. From explosive outbursts to strict enforcement of rules, this video is a dramatic, eye-opening look at the tension, stakes, and drama that play out in real courtrooms.
Exposure. You wanted to do the PC on indecent?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with indecent exposure. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
May 26, 2024, officers were dispatched to a defendant touching his private area at the Metro-owned downtown transit center located on 1900 Main Street, Harris County, Texas. The officer was advised by Metro Dispatch that the complainant called and stated that the defendant was exposing himself to her. The complainant told officers that the defendant was a black male in a blue hoodie and boarded a Metro bus, and then ultimately pointed the bus that he had boarded. Matching the description, and complainant witness confirmed that that was the same person. Complainant stated that the defendant followed her from across the street, pulled out his penis, and started exposing it to her and looking at her. She further stated that the defendant began stroking his penis back and forth with his hands, looking at her without speaking, approximately 5 to 10 feet away. The complainant stated that she was unable to tell if he was erect, but she was able to clearly see his penis as he was stroking.
Your Honor, after speaking with my client, the officers approached two males. I have to wait on body cam to see what the other male looked like, but my client's saying that wasn't him. He just...
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's probable cause to go forward now. Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane, we will get the body cam to ensure and see if that is in fact you, because we don't know. All we know is that we have someone that has identified you. I will try to have them get the body. Do you have it now? What evidence do you have now?
This is a brand new case, Your Honor. This is the 26th, so I don't know. There's nothing in yet, so I literally just wrote this up before I came to court.
Okay, I will, Mr. Lane, I will try to have them get the information and the body cams as quick as possible so we can verify that it is you. I would say let's try hopefully a week. The problem is that I can't give you a PR bond because you continue to take off on us. I had your evading arrest at 7503 because we can't get you here. So, okay. Do you have any questions, sir? Hey, hit the button, please.
Yes. Now you start with that. I was in New York.
Not the best time to be.
I don't know if it was this guy again. All right, same thing happened down there with me. That was,
Hey, Ms. Hayes, can we have him evaluated, please?
On his previous case, Your Honor, his first case in your court, he was already set for a mental health evaluation, but he absconded, he's homeless,
He's,
so,
the look that he was giving us, did you see me eyeing you to?
yes, I moved over, yes.
oh, you see where I came from? You see-
Yeah.
He's pretty coherent when I'm speaking with him, but I've seen the episode
I
coming
just,
about, so he's gonna be in custody, hopefully we can schedule the evaluation. I'll speak to the CLO and go from there.
for sure.
Thank you.
Connor,
Do not talk to your client while we're on the record. How do you know we're on the record? Because I call the style of the case. I keep saying that. And what I keep saying is, I don't understand when we're not on the record, everybody just sits there and don't talk to anybody. And the minute we get on the record, that's when everybody wants to have a conversation. I have patience in my pocket, but slowly but surely that patience is going to wear out. Everyone who's on the trial docket, if you are on the trial docket, you need to have the court coordinator or the clerk pull your file so I can let you know when you can be back here for trial, because we're not going to do this thing where everybody is rushing up here at 12 o'clock when we're actually taking our lunch at 12, because the prosecutors need a break at 12. The staff needs a break at 12. The court reporter who's been taking down everything that everyone's been saying needs their break. The probation officer needs their break. And do not approach the coordinator or the clerk when we're on the record. Again, how do you know we're on the record? Because I call the style of the case. Now, I hope everybody understands.
Courtrooms are spaces where tension, authority, and human behavior collide in ways that are both shocking and revealing. Today's video captures two incidents that could not be more different in tone but are equally compelling. Both moments demonstrate the extremes of human behavior, the importance of mental health, the power of authority, and the rules that hold the justice system together. Watching these cases, you realize how quickly a courtroom can move from chaos to discipline, and how every action and reaction carries consequences that can ripple far beyond the room itself. The first incident centers on Brandon Lane, a man facing serious charges of indecent exposure. The moment he enters the courtroom, there's a noticeable tension. His lawyer, clearly uneasy, tries to maintain composure, but it's obvious that representing Lane is anything but simple. The charge itself is deeply concerning. Lane allegedly touched himself in public while staring at a female, behavior that is disturbing and criminal. But what makes this case even more complicated is Lane's history. He has a record of skipping court appearances, which immediately raises red flags for the judge. Courts do not take risks lightly, and this history means Lane is viewed as a potential flight risk. As the proceedings begin, it becomes increasingly clear that Lane's behavior is unpredictable. The judge carefully considers the options but ultimately denies his bond. This decision is based on safety concerns and Lane's pattern of evading the law. The reaction that follows is almost unbelievable. Lane violently slams his head on the table, leaving everyone in the courtroom stunned. The intensity of this moment cannot be understated. It is a violent outburst that is both dangerous and deeply concerning, showing just how high emotions can run in stressful situations. The court immediately responds by recommending a mental health evaluation. Lane's homelessness and erratic behavior make this a serious concern. The legal system recognizes that some cases are not just about criminal behavior, they are about human behavior under extreme conditions. Mental health, safety, and justice all intersect in moments like this. The narrator in the video highlights that such outbursts can lead to additional consequences, including contempt charges, fines, or even jail time. It is a stark reminder that actions in court are scrutinized closely, and losing control can make a difficult situation far worse. As the video continues, the tone shifts to a different courtroom entirely. Here, Judge Boyd is presiding, and the focus is on maintaining order and professionalism. Unlike Lane's explosive outburst, this courtroom faces a quieter but equally serious challenge: attorneys who ignore procedure. They speak over the judge and approach the clerk during proceedings, disrupting the normal flow of the court. Judge Boyd does not hesitate to assert her authority. She reminds the lawyers that decorum is not optional, that rules exist for a reason, and that everyone in the courtroom must respect the process. The narrator underscores her point, referencing American Bar Association model rules, which clearly state that attorneys must maintain professionalism and should never disrupt court proceedings. This incident may seem less dramatic than the violent outburst of the first case, but it is equally important. It highlights the delicate balance that courts maintain between fairness, authority, and respect. Every disruption, no matter how small, can threaten the integrity of the judicial process, and Judge Boyd's firm stance demonstrates why adherence to rules is critical. Together, these two incidents show the extremes of courtroom dynamics. On one hand, there is chaos, unpredictability, and human vulnerability, as seen with Brandon Lane. On the other, there is discipline, authority, and the enforcement of rules, as exemplified by Judge Boyd. Both provide a real-world lesson in the high stakes that define courtrooms. They remind viewers that the courtroom is not just a place for legal decisions, it is a space where human behavior, societal rules, and personal accountability collide. Watching Brandon Lane's case, it is impossible not to think about the challenges courts face when mental health issues intersect with criminal charges. Lane's homelessness and erratic behavior complicate the proceedings and force the court to consider more than just the crime itself. Judges must weigh safety, compassion, and justice all at once. The courtroom is not only a place for punishment but also for assessing risks, understanding human behavior, and ensuring that the legal process is fair and responsible. Similarly, Judge Boyd's courtroom demonstrates that structure and authority are equally critical. Even experienced attorneys can lose sight of procedure, and when that happens, the judge must step in. The firm, authoritative approach ensures that every participant understands the boundaries and responsibilities. These moments may not involve physical outbursts, but they are dramatic in their own way. They show that order in the courtroom is not negotiable and that the judicial system relies on respect, professionalism, and adherence to rules to function effectively. By watching these incidents back to back, viewers get a complete picture of how unpredictable and high-stakes courtroom environments can be. The contrast is striking. One courtroom erupts in chaos due to explosive behavior, while another demonstrates calm authority and rule enforcement. Both moments capture attention because they are raw, real, and revealing. They highlight the pressures faced by judges, attorneys, defendants, and even the court staff. Every word, gesture, and decision matters. Every action carries potential consequences, both legally and personally. These videos also provoke thought about accountability. In Lane's case, his actions not only put himself at risk but also created danger and disruption for everyone in the courtroom. In Judge Boyd's courtroom, the attorney's disregard for procedure could have undermined the legal process, demonstrating that even small acts of disrespect or negligence have serious implications. For viewer, this is a vivid reminder that rules, boundaries, and behavior are critical, not just in court but in life. Both incidents also speak to the human element of justice. Courts are places where law intersects with human emotion, mental health, and societal norms. They are not mechanical spaces, they are environments filled with real people, each with their own challenges, limitations, and responsibilities. Watching these cases, it becomes clear that judges must constantly navigate the tension between authority, compassion, and fairness. They must act decisively in moments of chaos, enforce rules to maintain order, and consider the underlying circumstances that bring people before the court. Ultimately, this video is a powerful look at courtroom dynamics from every angle. It captures intensity, unpredictability, professionalism, and authority, all in one place. Brandon Lane's violent outburst shows how quickly emotions can escalate and why courts must consider mental health and safety. Judge Boyd's firm enforcement of rules highlights the importance of structure, respect, and professionalism in maintaining order. Together, these incidents provide a rare, dramatic glimpse into the pressures, responsibilities, and stakes that define life inside a courtroom. For anyone watching, the takeaway is clear: courtrooms are spaces where behavior matters, rules are critical, and the consequences of every action can be profound. They are not only about legal outcomes, they are about human behavior, accountability, and the careful balance of justice, authority, and compassion. This video delivers an unforgettable lesson on all of these points, showing viewer both the chaos that can erupt and the order that must be maintained.